E-call, immediate assistance for road accident victims. Sabah Customs seized contraband in 3 separate raids. Hello and good afternoon. I'm MOHANAAPRIYA. Welcome to News on 2. E-call, an electronic safety system which automatically sends out emergency signals from vehicles involved in serious accidents, will be implemented this year to expedite the delivery of assistance. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai said the project, which involved the installation of the system on new vehicles to observe its effectiveness, had gained positive response from several manufacturers. Speaking at a press conference after witnessing the signing of the project's Memorandum of Cooperation, MOC, between the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research and Telekom Malaysia Berhad, Datuk Sri Liao said when an accident occurs, the response time is critical to ensure that lives can be saved.
E-call ini akan memberi kita kawasan kemalangan yang tepat. Akan memberi kita masa kemalangan yang tepat. Dan juga memberi peluang kepada ambulan untuk sampai ke kawasan kemalangan dengan lebih mudah dan cepat. So there are a lot of advantages dari segi penggunaan e-call ini, dan kita yakin ia akan dapat menyelamatkan nyawa.
With the system, vehicles installed with e-call would automatically send emergency signals to the Malaysia Emergency Response Services, MERS 999, which would then channel it to related agencies to provide emergency assistance. The automatic emergency notifications would optimize the delivery of assistance to the scene while reducing the number of fatalities. Sabah Customs seized liquor and cigarettes worth 10.13 million ringgit, including taxes, in 3 separate raids in the state within a 5-day period this month. Customs Department Deputy Director General Datuk Zulkifli Yahya said in the first case, the agency seized 1,076 cartons of cool beer from a lorry parked behind a line of shops in Taman Kasargoi 3, Penampang on January 8th at 9:10 p.m. He said the customs were actively tracking the lorry company owner to facilitate investigations. Briefing reporters, he said 2 containers from Singapore filled with tiger beer were confiscated by Kota Kinabalu Customs Enforcement personnel at Sepangga Port on January 12th. The containers were said to be transporting commercial goods. He said following the seizure, a 43-year-old local who worked as a forwarding agent for a company was detained to assist investigations. Datuk Zulkifli said on the same date at about 5:30 p.m, 1,075 cartons containing 10.75 million cigarettes were seized at Tawau Port. A local man, 44, who was the manager of an import company, was also apprehended to assist investigations. The 3 cases involved seizures worth 2.13 million ringgit and taxes exceeding 8 million ringgit. Also present at the briefing was Sabah Customs Director Datuk Hamzah Sundang. Police have recorded the statements of 31 individuals to assist in their investigation on the case of a teen who was killed after a chair was flung from the 21st floor of Project Perumahan Rakyat PPR Sri Pantai Dalam low-cost flat in Kuala Lumpur on Monday. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Mazlan Lazim in a statement confirmed that police have interviewed several residents of the 21-storey flat and several witnesses. He said the Kuala Lumpur Police Crime Scene Investigation Unit, CSI, had also taken samples of DNA from the chair that was thrown and 5 key witnesses to assist in the investigation. The case is classified under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. In the incident, 15-year-old Satishwaran was on the ground floor of the PPR Sri Pantai flats in Pantai Dalam with his mother when he was struck by the chair on the head. Police are still awaiting the autopsy report, and Datuk Mazlan advised the public not to make any speculation on the case as investigation is ongoing. A university lecturer passed away, apparently due to a heart attack at the Bukit Besi toll plaza in Dungun, Terengganu, soon after he had just paid the fare. The victim, Cikgu Muhammad Rafi Cikgu Ali, 47, was believed to be on his way from Bukit Rakit, Kuala Terengganu, to meet his friend in Dungun. It was reported that Cheku Rafi felt pain in his chest immediately after passing the toll gate and stopped by the roadside near the plaza. Several personnel from the East Coast Highway Phase 2 patrol team on duty near the area rushed to provide aid and send him to the Dungun hospital. The victim passed away while receiving treatment. The case is classified as sudden death. Now, the Malaysian Immigration Department will open up a common counter for passenger inspection whenever there is a congestion of passengers at the KLIA in an effort to ease the congestion. Director General of Immigration, Datuk Sri Mustafa Ali, said in a statement that the department, with assistance from Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad, had set up a Customer Experience Management (CEM) team to cooperate in helping to disperse the passengers to the respective counters. Datuk Sri Mustafa said the department is also taking measures by deploying officers who will act as ushers to ease passenger congestion at the KLIA. He added, in order to ensure a smooth flow and avoid congestion during the inspection, the counter will be divided into two, namely the permanent counter and the support counter. Meanwhile, MEHB Managing Director Datuk Badlisham Ghazali said the new common counter system would work well following the previously implemented counter guiding light system which had been installed in September last year. He said the Immigration Department had also committed that 30 counters would be opened and manned around the clock at the arrival level and 10 counters at the departure level of KLIA main terminal. The government will not support the proposal by the tobacco industry to reintroduce small pack cigarettes which contain 10 sticks to combat the scourge of contraband cigarettes. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. S. Subramaniam said the proposal was just an excuse by industry lobbyists who claim that the move could check cigarette smuggling, which caused a rise in the number of smokers in the country. Datuk Sri Dr. Subramaniam said that if the government agreed to the move, it would be against the National Tobacco Policy and Article 8 of the World Health Organization's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. He said the tobacco industry claimed that sale of small packs would be better as the existing 20-stick packs were expensive, which caused smokers to look for the cheaper illegal variety. Datuk Sri Dr. Subramaniam said 52% smokers in the country were smoking illicit cigarettes, which was something very worrying. He added that kicking the smoking habit was not determined by what type of packs they came in, but greater awareness on the dangers of smoking. It is estimated that 5 million, or 23% of smokers in the country, are aged between 15 and 50 years old. Residential areas in Pahang have been urged to implement a fire and rescue community in order to reduce the risk of losing lives and properties in the event of a fire. The Regent of Pahang, Tengku Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah, said that this can be done through workshops on fire safety regulations by Fire and Rescue Department officials.
Jadi saya telah menyarankan supaya setiap taman perumahan di Kuantan, di daerah-daerah lain, khususnya di sekitaran bandar lah, supaya diadakan community bomber ataupun rukun tetangga supaya dapat mengawasi kawasan kita ni. Kawasan kita ni lah tempat kita hidup ya untuk selama-lamanya.
He said this after visiting the victims of a fire at Perkampungan Sungai Isap 2 in Kuantan, Pahang. 3 houses were destroyed in the fire at around 4:30 p.m., believed to be caused by a short circuit in one of the houses. The giant panda couple in Malaysia, Zing and Liang Liang, have welcomed the birth of their second cub weighing 150 grams on January 14th. Natural Resources and Environment Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, when announcing the good news, said Liang Liang gave birth to its cub naturally at 7:50 a.m., 89 days after insemination on October 18, 2017. Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi said the birth was another success story for Malaysia in its giant panda conservation program, as Malaysia is now the first country to record a natural birth of giant panda cub within 2 years after the first birth. The gender of the cub, however, had yet to be ascertained, as Liang Liang kept covering the cub and held it close to her during its nursing phase.
the mother panda is not allowing anybody to touch the baby yet, so we are not able to identify, classify whether male or female, the baby panda at the moment. But hopefully within a short period of time, we will be able to identify whether it is male or female.
Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi said Malaysia intended to keep the giant panda cub, but the matter must be discussed in detail with China, as it involved several factors. Their first cub, Nuan Wan, could only stay in Malaysia for 2 years before being sent back to Chengdu, China in November last year, in accordance with the Malaysia-China Giant Panda International Conservation Agreement. Coming up next, the Magic Inc.'s MOU to drive entrepreneurship connections. Stay with us. Malaysian entrepreneurs can now benefit from access to a wider network of technology experts thanks to a new partnership forged by Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Centre, MAGIC, with 3 other parties. MAGIC inked an MOU with the National ICT Research and Development Centre, MIMOS Berhad, consulting firm Accenture Malaysia, and community-focused urban regeneration organisation, Think City Sdn Berhad. The MOU is aimed at collaboration and active involvement in Malaysia's entrepreneurship development. With the MOU, MIMOS and Accenture will also join MAGIC's Corporate Entrepreneurship Responsibility, or CER, network, a program that connects corporates and entrepreneurs with opportunities to leverage off each other's expertise and technology solution know-how.
And we're anchoring around those 5 areas. So you're talking about clean energy. Again, I use the word different depending on people, sustainable cities and smart cities. Then you've got healthcare, mobility, and also agriculture. Simply because all these 5 elements, if you look the various conversations, if you look at mega trends, are areas that will affect societies at large.
Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Datuk Sri Panglima Wilfred Madius Tangau, said the partnership will bring together important factors for successful entrepreneurship programs such as MIMOS Advanced Technologies and Accenture's prowess in strategy, services, as well as technology and business consulting. The government plans to introduce new regulations to ease the redevelopment of public housing schemes that are more than 25 years old and to protect the rights of the original residents. Urban Wellbeing, Housing and Local Government Minister Tan Sri Noor Omar said the new regulations would also enable the areas involved to be developed in a more systematic manner than for the existing housing projects. Tan Sri Noor said the regulations are important to prevent certain parties from instigating the original residents so as to prevent redevelopment of their housing areas.
Jadi kalau dasar ni tak dibetulkan, akhirnya orang yang duduk dalam bandar macam di Datam Jelatik itu, mereka terpaksa berpindah keluar bandar pula, cari rumah yang lebih murah kat luar bandar. Jadi dia tidak mencapai matlamat kita. Tapi yang saya kata juga tengok ialah kelinci rasional ni satu model yang harus kita boleh jadikan contoh lah kalau kita nak buat. Hak-hak penduduk asal ni mesti diberikan jaminan.
The minister added that the new regulations would also be considered for inclusion in the National Public Housing Management Corporation Act, which was being drawn up. He said the development of all public housing schemes should be carried out with the new features such as bigger rooms, sufficient parking area and recreational facilities in keeping with the times. Tan Sri Noor said this after closing the National Urbanisation Convention 2018 at the Putrajaya International Convention Centre yesterday. The Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh has established a new international office at University Kebangsaan Malaysia Medical Centre. The office will act as a hub for the college's education, training and assessment program, along with charitable activities in the ASEAN region. The college is the oldest surgical institution in the world with over 500 years of history and has over 24,000 fellows and members worldwide and is also held high in the field of surgery. Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh President Professor Michael Lavelle-Jones said that Malaysia is well placed in the ASEAN region as the country has strong cordial ties with its neighbouring Asian countries.
And in fact, this is the first surgical skills centre outside the United Kingdom that has been accredited by the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh. So I think that is a mark of the respect and the value that we feel for UKM and the ASSC.
He added that aside from establishing a foothold in Malaysia, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia is also among the top 1% university in the world based on the 2017 ranking. Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Mukhris Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir, was also present to officiate the new international office. The Education Ministry has received a 700,000 ringgit tithe donation from the Permodalan Nasional Berhad PNB to be distributed to the selected matriculation program students who are from the poor families eligible to receive a tithe or asnaf group. The contribution, which will benefit 1,100 students, was handed over by PNB Group Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar to Education Minister Datuk Sri Madzir Khalid in a ceremony at the Ministry. Datuk Sri Madzir, in his speech, said 300,000 ringgit of the tithe money would be distributed to 300 outstanding students from the Asnaf group, while the rest would be distributed to 800 students who were from the bottom 40% household income group, or B40. He said contribution will benefit students in continuing their studies, especially those who will pursue university education. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Abdul Wahid said the contribution was part of the agency's responsibility in strengthening the country's education sector. Coming up in sports, the top seeds knocked out of Malaysia Masters. Stay with us. The Perodua Malaysian Masters lost two of its biggest names following the shocking first-round exits of reigning Olympic gold medalist Chen Lung and South Korea's Son Wan-ho. World number 4 Chen Lung, competing in his first tournament since the Hong Kong Open last November, was a shade of himself as he fell to a 17-21, 15-21 defeat to Indonesian youngster Anthony Ginting at the Axiata Arena, Bukit Jalil yesterday. The two-time world champion, while admitting he was below par, believed an early service foul call affected his rhythm against world number 13 Anthony. Admitting he was also not at his best, Chen Lung said that he would focus on making the adjustments for his next tournament, the Indonesian Masters, next week. Anthony advanced to the next round after beating Chen Lung in straight sets 21-17, 21-15 in 43 minutes. Meanwhile, another Chinese shuttler, Lin Dan, was also shown the exit after a first-round loss. Ehsan Maulana Mustafa of Indonesia beat 5-time world champion Lin Dan 21-16, 18-21, 21-17 in 1 hour 11 minutes. Lin Dan, the 5th seed, joined fellow compatriot Chen Lung, 3rd seed, who exited in the first round of the tournament. Much to the dismay of local fans, home favourite and 2nd seed Dato' Lee Chong-wei went down to Japan's Kenta Nishimoto. Chong-wei, who initially did not intend to play in the tournament, lost 21-19, 18-21, 21-19. The Malaysian ace trailed 10-18 in the third game before mounting a last-ditch comeback, but ultimately Nishimoto was able to hang on for a close victory. This is Chong-wei's second defeat to Nishimoto, as he was also beaten by the Japanese player in the first round of the French Open last year. The Penangite, however, shrugged off his early defeat, noting that the Malaysian Masters was not the most important tournament for him, adding that he still needs to prepare for the Malaysian Open in June. With Chong-wei out, Malaysia's challenge in men's singles falls on the shoulders of Lee Zijia and former national shuttler Liu Darren, who both advanced to the next round. And that concludes this afternoon's News on 2. In our top story today, Sabah Customs sees contraband worth over 10 million ringgit. Join us again at 7 this evening. I'm MOHANAAPRIYA. Thanks for watching.